Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Introduce yourselves.
Gavin McAfee.
John Metzger.
Benda. We rap.
All right, well, another bombshell in the college football coaching carousel has opened. Brian Kelly's fat ass is out at LSU. I think this was kind of expected. He didn't fit there. That's all it comes down to. He wasn't the right guy for that culture. You know, LSU, they're supposed to be a top perennial power in the SEC, but when you're losing to teams like fucking Vanderbilt, that shouldn't be happening at LSU. Like, you should not be losing to Vanderbilt. I understand Vanderbilt's having a great season right now, but I mean, LSU should be at the top with like Bama, Georgia, every year. Ole Miss is up there. A&M's up there this year. Texas is usually there, but they're having a down year this year. So, I mean, for LSU, I mean, I think they have the resources to do it, obviously. Like, they spend so much money. They spent $20 million on the transfer portal this year and on their team in general. So, I mean, Ohio State they won a national championship. Why can't LSU do it? I think it was just Brian Kelly just wasn't a fit there. They also fired their offensive coordinator, which is smart because their offense is fucking horrible. And, yeah. So I was listening to another podcast from Joel Klatt, who does the Fox analyst stuff. He listed the four guys he said LSU should call, and I think the first three are bogus. He said Urban Meyer, Nick Saban, Dan Lanning, Lane Kiffin. Those are the four he mentioned. The first three I didn't like because I just don't think they're possible. Lane Kiffin, though, I think this would be the place he goes if he does go somewhere. I just think the LSU job, I think, is better. But for some reason, I just have that feeling that his interests are more on the Florida side more than LSU. Because I think he could be more of himself at Florida than LSU. And then I'll finish off. I think a dark horse for this job. No, not Marcus Freeman. I think it's Kenny Dillingham from Arizona State. I think he's a guy who's got a great culture. He's built something at Arizona State. Just led him to a playoff appearance. You know, obviously, they lost last week, so their season's done. But he's brought that culture back at Arizona State. He's a great locker room guy, great coach. But, yeah, this should be interesting because I think LSU now, this is the number one job opening now. I think it goes LSU, Florida, Penn State. So Lane Kiffin's going to one of those three places. So, anyways, LSU is now available.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I've been able to see this one coming since that video went viral of Brian Kelly with one of those recruits a couple of years ago when there's like spinning around them, they're posing and stuff. It was like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. So I feel like from that moment, everyone could see that like something was not right at LSU. Something was not fitting with the culture and Brian Kelly together. So I do like Brose's pick with the Arizona State coach. I don't know for sure if he'll go there, but I do think he would. I do think he'd be a good fit for that culture at LSU. I feel like the only thing I don't know about is I don't know if Lane Kiffin's gonna go anywhere. I feel like he's building something really good right now at Ole Miss, and I don't see any point in him leaving and going anywhere when he's already at an SEC program that is already one of the top teams in the country. So I don't really know who is going to take over these top coaching spots.
As I said, I'm not big into coaching. I know of like some coaches. I would say if someone's going to take this job, it's probably not Urban Meyer or Nick Saban or even Lane Kiffin, like Bruce said. Just because I think Lane Kiffin, in my honest opinion, I know like he could be tempted to leave, but I feel like he could actually try and build something at Ole Miss, and I think he's been trying to do that. And I think there's still a genuine possibility of that happening, especially with how they've been playing as of lately. But, I mean, I feel like this was expected after the high expectations LSU had, and then they've just shit the bed constantly. I mean, like, Nuss honestly should be a Heisman contender, but they just can't play offense. And I haven't watched enough LSU like games like overall to know if it's play calling or not, but I don't know. I think it comes down to coaching, and Brian Kelly's just struggled year in and year out. He even struggled at Notre Dame too, so I think this is not surprising at all.
Yeah, I agree with you, John. I remember
watching the TV, I think with my dad when he took the LSU job or something. And we're just like, that's just crazy because he never did anything really good for Notre Dame. I mean, they were always ranked, but like you weren't going to consider them for a natty championship. And I just felt like for him going to the SEC and he never like really proved anything at Notre Dame. Like he was a solid coach, but he never did anything in, postseason or anything. I just felt like it wasn't going to fit. Obviously, it never did. But yeah, LSU's got to find somebody. I mean, they're probably the best job opening now above of Florida and Penn State. I don't know who they're going to get. I also agree that Lane Kiffin, there's no way he leaves an Ole Miss team that he's built up, which has been better than all three of those teams in the past 5 years. So I don't see that happening. But, yeah, I'm not surprised Brian Kelly's gone. I thought they'd probably be at the end of the year. But, I mean, heck, this year there's been so many job openings. I guess none of us know what's going to happen at this point.
Yeah, honestly, I think that it's a Brian Kelly problem wherever he goes. I think that he just brings the problems with him because I personally believe that he's just all about himself. And I don't think that he was ever going to fit into LSU. And there's a lot of places where he just wouldn't fit. I don't think that he can raise the level of play of these higher echelon programs. I think that, if he goes to like a lower tier school, that maybe that he can make them better. But I don't think he's going to like exceed expectations at any of these places, especially LSU. He's not from the South. He's not a Southern guy. He doesn't fit in with his players. Like it just seems like he wasn't even trying to relate to them. He was just there. He just looked so out of place from the start. And I think that he's just a little selfish. He went there for the money, and he did it all for the initials BK for Brian Kelly. He wants it all for him. He wants the fame. He wants the money. He wants to win championships. He wants to build up his legacy. He doesn't care about, how good LSU is deemed. He wants everyone to see how good he is at coaching. And then if it doesn't go right, he'll just blame it on his assistants. I don't know if you saw that during the game. I saw some clips of him just yelling at his assistants when things are going wrong. I'm sure he was probably informed that, if this game decided to go south, then he's probably, on his way out of there. So I think that for him, I think he's just got to reset, find his true passion for some other place and, actually try to like make his imprint on somewhere rather than just trying to, do it for the money. But for the other coaching jobs and for LSU, I think for Penn State, kind of a sleeper pick is Brian Hartline. And I know that may come as a shock because that's an in-conference opponent for Ohio State where he's currently at. But I think that he, for a while now, has been getting these job offers and turning them down. And I think it's only just a matter of time before he chooses somewhere to go and really make a substantially higher amount of money. I know he's in a good position now, obviously with Ohio State, but he can choose to go somewhere else really wherever he wants, I feel like. And for LSU and Florida, I don't think Lane Kiffin's really going to leave. I think he's in a great spot with Ole Miss. I think I'd be kind of dumb to do it now. But, yeah, I think Bros made a good point with Kenny Dillingham. I could see him potentially going to one of the two openings in the SEC because I just think he's a great coach. So we'll see what happens there.
I do like that Brian Hartline. I think he'll probably, if he's going somewhere, I think now would probably be the time to go with just some of these big offers that are up out in the next time when there's going to be this many like big offers in the same year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of openings now available in big Power 5 conferences. Moving on from the coaching carousel onto the games that took place last week. We'll start out with the one that happened in the SEC. Ole Miss was up double digits at halftime. Oklahoma took the lead back, and then Ole Miss came back with their good offense and got the win. They got the job done, unlike Georgia where they were up double digits in the second half and kind of choked that one away. So, yeah, Ole Miss has put themselves in prime position unless they fall apart somehow. With the schedule they have, I feel like they'll be fine. They should be in the playoffs, but for now, Oklahoma, this is desperate mode because they needed this game more than I think Ole Miss did. Because if Ole Miss loses this game and they went out, they're probably still in. But Oklahoma now, they've got to play Tennessee, Alabama, LSU. They're not going through those three games without another loss. So I think Oklahoma's in trouble. They're probably done after one of these next weeks. And another game that happened was Memphis group. This is for the Power 5 group. Power 5. Memphis took down USF in what was a great game. It was an offensive, high-scoring game. Memphis just keeps proving they're climbing their way up there. They could make the playoff as that 12 seed. Possibly them or a team we'll get into later in North Texas. But anyways, yeah, Ole Miss gets the job done, and Memphis keeps proving why they could be a playoff contender for the Group of 5 spot.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss and Oklahoma, I think they're both two very good football teams. So I mean, ultimately the game is going to come down to who made more mistakes and who made the mistakes at the worst times. And really, that ended up being Oklahoma. They kind of just it felt like they almost just handed it to Ole Miss at the end of some of the mistakes they were doing. I mean, the one that comes to the top of my mind is the fumble on the punt return at the end of the game when they had a chance to go up at the end of the fourth quarter. So, yeah, I mean, Ole Miss is definitely legit. Lane Kiffin makes some risky calls. I like it. I know they had one that didn't work out, but their defense stepped up and they got the job done at the end of the day. So, I think Oklahoma now, I don't know. I think they're probably done, but who knows? I think they still have a shot too. So, should be interesting to see what happens in the rest of their season.
Honestly, I think Ole Miss has just proven that they are legit. I know they didn't get the road win against Georgia, but getting a road win against Oklahoma is just as good. That's a hard place to play. As well as the fact that Oklahoma did look good. I just think that fumble that fumble literally cannot happen. If they didn't fumble, I mean, I think Oklahoma wins that game, but good win for Lane Kiffin and the Ole Miss Rebels. I think they're legit. I don't know who they have left on their schedule, but I mean, I'm going to assume that they can hopefully just cruise to a playoff appearance, which is honestly huge for Lane Kiffin because he deserves it, I feel like. He's worked so hard, and he's finally got a team. And they played defense, too, which is like, I stress that so much, is that they needed to figure out how to play defense because that Georgia game was just a shootout. And they played defense. They found a way to win on the road, and that's literally what matters at the end of the day is finding ways to win. So, I mean, props to Ole Miss. I think Oklahoma just needs to – I feel like John Mateer is just unheard of right now. When I watched that game, I felt like he was – you couldn't even tell that he was a factor on the field sometimes. Against Michigan at least, I felt like they ran the ball with him way more, and now then they just didn't. I feel like I don't know if that's because of his thumb injury or what's going on, but I think they got a chance, but they have to run the table and they need things to happen for them.
Yeah, I think I was the only one that picked Ole Miss to beat Oklahoma. So I was not surprised at all to watch that happen. But I will say is that Oklahoma has definitely not looked as good since Mateer got injured. Even though he's came back, he just hasn't looked the same, and I don't think the team has either. I remember when they beat Michigan, I was just like, dang, this team is really good, and then they kept winning afterwards. But, now they've dropped a game to Texas, which they probably should have won that game, and then now they dropped this game to Ole Miss, and you're like, well, dang, they got some SEC teams coming up, and they already got 2 losses. I mean, this isn't looking good for them, especially we were pretty all high on them, 2 or 3 weeks ago. So, I mean, they got to figure some stuff out here. But I mean, Ole Miss, they look great. I was going into the week thinking that they're the better team, and they just have looked better. And that proves my point even more that they're probably top 3 SEC team right now, and I don't know if I would have said that 4 weeks ago. So they're looking good, but they'll probably cruise the rest of the way and make the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Ole Miss is in a prime spot. Another SEC match that went down. Vandy. Sorry, Rob, you go ahead.
It's okay.
Boy.
Watching the Ole Miss Oklahoma game, I was certainly a little surprised, but also impressed with Ole Miss being able to come on the road. I think there was a stat out there that it was like Lane Kiffin's first ranked road win or something like that. So that's kind of big for him. This is exactly why I don't think he's going to leave. I mean, he's just steadily improved that program over these last couple of years. why would he leave to go to LSU or Florida, which needs some improvement? Like, I know that's a spot with a lot of resources, but I just don't think I can see that happening, especially the trajectory of that program right now. I just don't think that. I think he fits in really well there. I think he's done a great job just turning the tide there and making them into an actual contender. I mean, in the SEC, they're right up there. They competed well with Georgia, and that's exactly what you want from them because they've came up short against them in the past, and now they were a few defensive stops away from winning that game, and it just didn't happen. So I think this is a great look for them. They've shown that they're definitely easily in the top 10, and they should make the playoffs. For Oklahoma, though, I was disappointed on the way Mateer played. Even if he was a little hindered or not, he still didn't look very good. I've been disappointed that the offenses looked a little down. I think that they really got to improve it, and I think that going into the season, it was always going to be tough with the schedule they were given. But I think that they just got to find some things and really just hopefully run the table for their sake. But yeah, it's going to be really tough with who they got left. And Bros mentioned the who was it? USF versus Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis.
Okay, yeah, that was a good game, a good battle in the group of five, and Memphis ended up winning. You could definitely make the case that they could be the group of five candidate to make the playoffs, but I think that whoever does make it from those five conferences definitely has to come from that conference, the American. I mean, they've got Memphis, they've got USF, they got Tulane, they got Navy and North Texas. I mean, those are a bunch of candidates right there, and I'm sure we're going to get into more of them later. So, yeah, we'll definitely see the team come from there, I believe.
I agree with that as well with the group of five. Vandy took care of Missouri 17-10. Missouri was leading for a good amount of the game, but Bo Prabula suffered a season-ending injury. It's not really season-ending. It's just like I think he's out for the rest of the regular season. And I think Missouri, I don't think anybody really considered them as a really serious team, but Vandy gets it done. They keep rolling. Another team, SC team, Bama, had a scare in Gamecock country. They did not play well at all on offense, so I don't believe so. Their run game is non-existent. That's the only thing I have a problem with Bama. Their run game is so non-existent. Like if you stop their passing attack, their offense is just done. I mean, they can throw the ball. Simpson's fine. I mean, the North Stellars had a crucial fumble. If he doesn't fumble that, South Carolina may go down. They might win the game. But yeah, Bama survives. Cincinnati took care of business against Baylor by 21 points. They were up 24 at half. And then tried to make it a little bit closer, a little bit. But, yeah, we'll talk about them more later because they're starting to get some national attention. And then Texas survived a big scare against Mississippi State, somehow came back down 17 points. And Michigan handled business against Little Brother in Michigan State. So, yeah.
Yeah, all these were some pretty good games. Michigan game turned out pretty much as I expected it to. Kind of wish the offense would have got rolling a little more, but we killed them on the run game per usual. They just couldn't keep up with the physicality. The Bama game, I didn't end up watching that, but from Will Rob's text that I was receiving, it seemed like South Carolina choked that game away.
Yep.
So wish they would have held on, but they didn't. What was the first game you're talking about, Briss?
Vandy and Missouri.
Oh yeah, Vandy, Missouri. Missouri, yeah, I didn't really have much faith in Missouri anyways going into this. I thought they were just kind of overrated. I feel like they have been in the past couple of years. So yeah, I think they're out of it now. I don't think there's any shot that they do anything else. Vandy, we'll see. I'm glad they're winning. Hope they keep winning. I like watching them. Still this underdog story, even though they're not really too much of an underdog anymore. But just knowing where they came from is fun to watch. So.
All right, I'm going to just try and start this in order. Mizzou, Vandy, I think, honestly, if Bo Prabula does not get hurt, that honestly could be a very, possible OT game, I think. I think Vandy still comes out on top, but I think Bo gives them a lot of chances. And honestly, maybe next year, because Bo's hurt, I'm assuming he'll come back for another year. Mizzou could be a really good team next year if they really load up and they really decide to spend some money. So, I mean, I know they're like slightly overrated every year, but like, maybe it's justified because they are winning some games. And I mean, they're in the SEC, so winning games in the SEC, according to everybody, is amazing, which SEC is a very good conference, so it's deserved. But, yeah, I think it's a close game. Could go either way with Bo. Bama, I didn't get to watch that game, but like Gavin said, from what Rob said, sounds like they kind of got a little lucky and the Gamecocks sold themselves. The Michigan game, I know everyone online is saying that the offsides is a bad call. It was a bad call, but I guess there are bad calls, and I mean, dealing with the refs is known, especially as a Lions fan. The Chiefs just get any call known to man, but yeah, I think it's one bad call. I don't think it defines the game entirely because Michigan State then went for it on 2 4th downs that they did not convert, and they ended up. I don't think they lost the turnover battle, but just some bad, I think, judgment calls, honestly, from their head coach. Which, honestly, I think next year, whether either at the end of this year or the end of next year or sometime next year, he could easily get fired, just because of he just doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing, honestly. Like, Jonathan Smith does not seem, every time I've watched Michigan State play, especially Michigan, he just kind of looks clueless on the sideline. Even in, there have been, the last 2 years have been technically, tight games, and he just cannot will his team to win, I feel like, or get them even motivated. But, yeah, good win from Michigan. Am I missing a game? What game am I missing? Cincy?
Cincy.
I was going to say, the Bearcats, they look so good right now. I think Brendan Sorsby, he's honestly playing very well. I mean, he almost threw a pick. I did watch some of the game, but overall, he's playing very solid, and it looks like that whole team is just clicking on a whole new level compared to last year, where I felt like they really struggled in all phases of the game, and they only had a couple areas where they were good. But I mean, this year, this looks like a new team, and it looks like a team that is a really good sleeper team right now. If they do end up winning the Big 12, I think they could win a conference, or not a conference game, but a possible playoff game if it's at Nip. If it's at Nip, I think that gives them the best chances to win, obviously.
Yeah, no, I forgot to talk about this game, but once again, since he takes home another dub, wasn't able to go this week, sadly, but I got to watch it on TV, and it just seemed like pretty much pure domination. Baylor had a little fight in them, but Brendan Sorsby just ran up the middle, snapped some dude's ankles, and ended that hope real quick. So, love Brendan Sorsby. Don't know how he's not in the top 10 for Heisman right now officially. But hopefully we can keep winning, especially this big game coming up. So.
Yeah, I'll try to go through these quickly. First, Vandy, Missouri. Vandy's just the better team, and I feel like every single year, Missouri is just a team that always finishes in the top 25, but they always hover from 20 to 25, and they're just kind of a team that just floats around in there, and they're never going to be better than that, and I just don't think that they have the team, especially this year, to do it again. Alabama, South Carolina. Man, that was tough. I was shocked to see it that close, and South Carolina blew it, that's for sure. But, at least credit to Bama. They still got the win, so it's really all that matters. And, a lot of you'll have an off week as a good team. That's pretty common for a lot of teams. So, they had an off week, and they still got the W, so it's not the end of the world. And then, Cincy, I didn't watch much of it, but, I don't know. It sounds from you guys, they took care of business. I think I watched the fourth quarter. That was about it, but yeah, they're looking like they can make a run here. That's for sure. Still kind of want them to lose at least the Big 12 so I can make $25 off of Gavin. But other than that, I hope they keep winning games. I feel like I'm missing a game. Which one am I missing?
Yeah. First off, I want to say that Cincy actually looked pretty good. Baylor did make a little bit of a comeback, but they were never going to win that game. Hence why I still pick Cincy, even though I did say to watch out for Baylor. They didn't really give up much of a fight as I thought they'd give. So, yeah, Cincy looks pretty good. They got a huge game coming up versus Utah. And I think that this right here will just decide how the rest of their season goes. Because if they get this game, they'll have so much momentum going into another big game versus BYU. But if they lose this one, then it's looking grim because then another loss would obviously put them out of the conversation. So I think they absolutely must win this game. They got to start off quick, and they need it for sure. Obviously, we're probably going to talk about that in a little bit. But going back to the Bama South Carolina game, honestly, I'm just pissed off that I even decided to watch that shit. I mean, my God, you can see why South Carolina has such a bad record. It's really just Sellers trying to make stuff happen. His O-line is so bad. They get so many holding penalties. They get in the red zone, stall out, and kick a field goal on like 4th and 2 when they could have went for it. You know, it's the biggest game of their season. They're kicking field goals. Well, they have a shitty play call, and it ends up not converting. Like all that culminating with bad coaching, bad decisions. And earlier in the game, really Bama's only touchdown for a while was a pick six that just bounced off of South Carolina receiver's hands and just right back to the DB. I mean, that's just lucky at that point. You know, obviously luck leads to win sometimes, but yeah, you take that away, I think South Carolina wins. And even then, Bama did have a drive to come back, and they got a touchdown and a 2-point. And then they try to run the ball. Sellers tries to run for South Carolina on the next drive, fumbles it, and Bama just scores. I mean, really, I don't think Bama looked good at all. You could say this was a trap game because obviously a road game is always tough, especially in a conference like the SEC. But even then, it's just, man, Bama should have lost this game. South Carolina just shit down their leg. It's honestly a little similar to the Michigan State game. I think that you could see why Sparty is so terrible. I mean, Aiden Childs, he's basically just a glorified running back. I mean, he's really not good. And I saw another play where he throws a pass. I don't know if it might have been this game or another game, but some player tried to like get a first down, he had it, and then he goes back or something like that. Like just these dumb decisions, dumb coaching decisions, dumb penalties after the play. I saw some unsportsmanlike conducts where they just get absolutely just pissed off because they score one time and they're shoving dudes after the whistle and screaming in their face. Like, I mean, you got to act like you've been there before, dude. I mean, this is the biggest game of your season, and once again, just absolutely just shitting down your leg because you're just not used to being in a position anywhere close. So, yeah, really disappointed from them. I think obviously a big rivalry win for the Wolverines. You know, gotta give them credit where it's due. But yeah, and then real quick, I'll say that Vandy looks like a great team, and they got a close win. Defenses were definitely very prevalent in this game, but Vandy looks good, and I think the schedule the rest of the way is favorable for them to definitely make the playoffs. And Missouri's just mid; they're not doing anything.
I just like to say one thing off of what Rob said about Sparty. I really thought that our younger team, even if like we have experienced guys on there, I thought our younger team was going to retaliate towards them, and I thought that was the best thing is seeing us actually stay disciplined. And I didn't even know that we were honestly a very low penalized team. I guess I don't think we're like number one, but we are low penalized, and I was very surprised to see that we actually stayed disciplined. I was worried that we were going to just fight into the ego and, you know, the bullshit that they want to do because they're at home and, you know, they've scored a point, whatever. But yeah, Sparty tried to do what little bro does and, you know, just rile everyone up, and our team decided to stay disciplined, which I did not expect that out of them, and I hope that can continue because that's what we need if we're going to, you know, win out and even, you know, get to a position at least for the Ohio State game to have a chance at making the college football playoff with a win. We have to stay disciplined more than anything.
Yeah, I agree with that. Michigan, I think. Oh, sorry, boss.
Hello. I didn't watch much college football this weekend. I mean, I know the scores, but I think Michigan's been playing solid recently. I feel like they've been playing pretty good. And I picked Vandy to win. I think I mean, I thought that Vandy was definitely the better team going into it, and I do agree with William that I think Missouri's ass, and it kind of just showed within that game. And then judging by what they've been saying about the South Carolina game, I mean, there's just no excuse for it if you're kind of just selling every game that you have and you're acting like big shots when you're down or when you're just scoring and you're like what's their record, like 3-4 or something, but a piss poor record. So there's really just no room for that if you're trying to win games in college. And going to the Bearcats game, that was a pretty good game to be at. I got taken away from it for a little bit because my family was there for a little bit, so talked to them. But from what I saw within the game, I mean, Sorsby's just I think he's a very top caliber quarterback. And even within our run game, we have enough to where having an elusive back and then also having a back that can just run people over when you need him to is just such a power combo that there's really nothing in the sport of football you can do against it most times, because you have both sides, you have both aspects of the running game right there. So I think that the Bearcats are going to just keep on steamrolling. They've got Utah this week. I think that it'll be closer, but I think that the Bearcats will pull through. This is a real test of what they can do. And then they've got a bye, then Arizona, then BYU. So if we keep winning, I think that BYU game will make or break our season.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Cincinnati's rolling right now, and with the teams they play, it's going to prove, are they legit or were they just playing bad competition? But we'll see how it goes. We're going to move into the next week's predictions. We're starting with a game that's kind of like not a marquee conference, but it's a group of 5 teams, 2 teams that are potentially going to make group of 5. Navy's going on the road to face North Texas in this matchup. North Texas has a very high-powered offense. I think they put up like 60 points last week. Navy, we know they're going to be run-heavy, quarterback run, quarterback power. With Blake Horvath, who's really actually a solid running quarterback. You know, he can throw a little bit, but they're known for their run game mostly in Navy. But, yeah, I think this will be a fine game. I think first half will be close. And I think that offense from North Texas is going to be too much. I'm going to go with the green wave in this one. No, that's Tulane. Shit, wrong team. I don't know. They're green something. Give me North Texas in this one to get it done against Navy.
I didn't even know if North
Nah, see, that's exactly why North Texas is so unbelievably unheard of, and the fact that Navy is undefeated. They're still, are they ranked yet, or are they still
Negative.
low, or are they
No.
unranked? See, they're still trying to prove something. This is a game that they're going to be looking to win again, to prove something against a somewhat decent North Texas team. So I got Navy.
It's the mean green, they're called, North Texas. That's what they're do something green.
So, I know North Texas is 7-1, Navy's 7-0, but Navy beat Oklahoma in a bowl game last year, so that's what I'm staying off of. So, give me Navy, baby. I like fucking Navy. I like the fucking run game. I mean, that's good football right there. Go fucking win at the line of scrimmage. I think they can overpower them at the line of scrimmage. It's the military.
Hayden?
You guys want me to go then still now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to check North Texas. I feel like Navy's played okay teams, and, their style of play can beat these worst teams, but I think they're going to play with probably the best team they've played. And I think that their style of play just won't be as good against these better teams. And if they somehow win this game and they're the non-power 5 team to make the playoffs, they will never win a game with just the style of their play. It's just not up to par with today's college football. So I think this is the best team they've played. And the style of North Texas will just really dictate how the game goes, and I think North Texas wins. I would like Navy to
For
win
me,
though, but
yeah. For me personally, I think that North Texas is probably favored in this one, but I just can't pick against Navy. I can't pick against our hardworking members of America that want this one so bad. They're doing their service and they're also playing football. I mean, they just deserve to have this one. I think they'll just impose their will, and I think that they'll get this one hopefully in a low scoring battle for their sake. But yeah, I like Horvath for Navy. He's a good running quarterback that can actually pass a little bit, unlike what Navy usually does. So hopefully they get a little bit of both in that aspect. But the schedule for Navy, let me just pull this up real quick. They got North Texas, Notre Dame, South Florida, Memphis, and then they play against Army. That is absolutely brutal. If they can somehow get out of there and maybe their only loss being Notre Dame, then they absolutely deserve to be in the playoff.
Imagine they beat Notre Dame.
That I hope that does happen, but yeah, for Navy, they've gone 7 straight games without playing anyone. Now they just finished with an absolute gauntlet. So we'll see. I hope that they can keep it alive here, and I'm picking based off what I hope. So give me Navy.
Give me the midshipman.
All right, basic. Most people are favoring Navy. They got a good run game, so we'll see. That game should be a good one. Next game we're moving on to in the SEC, a hot team right now. Vanderbilt's going on the road to face Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns, who barely squeaked out a win last week against Mississippi State, who also with South Carolina blew a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter because they can't tackle on a punt return and they just can't score somehow on offense of 17. But yeah, I think this will be a good game. It's not at night. That's good for Vanderbilt's sake. But is that Texas? Texas' offense probably looked the best that it has looked this year, but it was Mississippi State, so we got to give them out of that. Arch Manning is in the concussion protocol. That is big for Texas. If he does not play, they got no chance. So it depends if he plays. I'm assuming he probably will. He's just in the protocol right now. But there's only one answer. Just give me Vandy, baby, to get it done. They're getting it done on the road. Diego Pavia leading them down the field with his running game and the passing. I think they're getting it done. Give me the Commodores to end this team's season because they're fucking ass. Give me Vandy.
Yeah, I was thinking some of this right here, but nah. Diego Pavia is coming in and steamrolling the Longhorns in Texas. Give me Vandy.
Are we sure that Arch Manning hasn't been on concussion protocol the entire season with the way he's played? I'm like genuinely asking because like he was way too hyped up to play like hell. I don't know. There are comparisons that I thought he could have been great, and then he just. But yeah, give me Vandy. I think this is a great road test for them, and I think they get it done. It's a deserved win. I think it's a win that leads them in the right direction to fucking finish off this year on a high note. Just I know it's not the end of the year, but that's a good starting point too. I win on the road. I mean, all these wins, they're gonna keep adding up, and I love the way they play football too. I think they look like a great team, and they deserve what's coming for them. So give me Vandy on the road.
yeah, I want to go Vandy as well, but I don't know. I feel like this is a game where they're gonna fall. I just got that gut feeling that Texas is gonna play good this one week, and then the next week they'll probably play bad again. I mean, they're kind of hit or miss. I mean, they beat Oklahoma. They beat some good teams. They've also lost some games that were kind of bad. I think this will be at home. I think Texas pulls it off in a little upset action here.
Oh, that's honestly shocking to hear. I thought you were going to pick Vandy, but I think that Texas has been very disappointing. Arch has not looked good at all. He did take a huge shot in their last game, which is why he's on concussion protocol. But yeah, I think with or without him, I think they're still going to lose. I think that Pavia just loves that bill and roll going into a big environment. They didn't beat Bama, but I think this is the one they're going to get over that big brand. I think I just have to take Vandy. Texas has struggled versus all these bad teams, and now they actually play a pretty good team. I just think they're going to be too much, and I think Pavia gets it done again, baby.
They say everything's bigger in Texas. And I believe that the score that the Vanderbilt Commodores will put up will be much bigger than what Texas puts up. Because Texas sucks. I've seen it with my own eyes. Arch Manning can't throw a fucking football to save his life. His uncle and his dad just... Or his uncles, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah. But he's nothing like him. Everybody said he was. It looks like he lost his ID again, pretty much, with the way he's playing. Doesn't even look like he goes to that college anymore. So, give me Vandy.
All right. Well, Hayden's gutsy taking Texas. Next one, moving on. I put in here. It's a rivalry matchup. Neutral site in Jacksonville. Georgia's got to play Florida in this one. Florida coming off firing Billy Napier. Are they going to have any motivation this game? I think they're going to come out. They're going to come out the best they can. But Georgia's just a better team. Give me the Dogs to steamroll the Florida Gators in this one. I'm making it quick.
Hey, bros. Celtics win by 32. Quick update. Thanks.
Yeah, quick update. The Bulls are still undefeated and still better than all your poverty programs. And give me the Dogs.
Hayden, that's your first win of the year. You want a cookie?
Let me re-correct Gavin here. They're not programs in the NBA. They're franchises.
He wants a cookie.
But, yeah, either way.
The Bulls are still better than all your poverty franchises and remain undefeated.
All right, Gavin has corrected himself.
Give me
Well
the
done.
Dogs.
I don't watch basketball, so I'm not going to give you an update. I think the Pistons lost. I don't even know who. I think they played the Cavs. I don't know.
They got fucking whooped.
Well, I'm not a Pistons fan. If anything, I'm a Charlotte Hornets fan for Michael Jordan's sake because he owns the Hornets. But I don't watch basketball. I just troll. That's all I do is troll. But, yeah, give me the Dogs in a lopsided matchup in Jacksonville.
Sick 'em. Dogs.
Hogs and dogs, it don't matter. Nah, just kidding. Give me the fucking Dogs. Gators don't got a fucking chance in hell. And also,
You heard him. He said Gators.
no.
Gator.
And the Cavs are 3-1. They own the Pistons. I know some people in here actually think they're good. They're not. And the Cavs don't even have their whole team yet. So watch out, Knicks and anyone else who wants to fucking contend in the East. Because I know
the Bulls are
not a
undefeated,
contender.
and we're missing our starting point guard and backup center.
Well, you
Don't-
played nobody, so that's probably why.
Yep. Cavs and full, baby.
Is it me? Well, what's that coming down the track? What's that coming down the track? It's the mean machine in the red and black.
It's the mean machine in the red and black.
In the land.
Ain't nothing finer in the land
Than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan.
than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan.
Go Dogs!
Go Dogs!
Go Dogs! Go Dogs!
Go Dogs!
Oh,
Dogs!
Yeah, I'll take Georgia.
All right. Well, everyone's rocking Georgia, obviously. That could be interesting, but I think Georgia's going to handle them pretty easily. Next one, another SEC. This one's at night. Night at Neyland. Oklahoma coming off that tough loss against Ole Miss, going on the road to face Tennessee. They're coming off a loss against Bama. This is a make-or-break game for both teams. Because literally this game is basically their season's cooked. Who do I trust the most, though? It's at night. Give me Rocky Top. Give me Tennessee to end Oklahoma's season pretty easily. I think that home atmosphere, the crowd, they're going to have momentum. I think Tennessee, if they win this game, they do have Vandy at the end of the year, which will be a good rivalry game if Vandy keeps up the season they're having. But, yeah, I can't trust the Oklahoma offense right now. Their defense is decent. I just think Tennessee's got a much better offense than Oklahoma right now. So I'm going with the Vols to end Boomer Sooners year, and Brent Venables will be mid once again.
Yeah, I've been sticking with the Sooners pretty much all year. And they've been disappointing in a few weeks. I know both these teams are going to be fighting for their lives this week. It is at Tennessee. But I still got Oklahoma. I don't think Mateer's going down that easy. I just don't think Tennessee has this team. We saw last year they were overrated, got absolutely smacked. So give me Oklahoma in a tight one at Tennessee.
Give me fucking Rocky Top, baby. I fucking love Rocky Top. Rocky Top all fucking day and night fucking long. I love my fucking Vols when it comes to SEC football.
I think he likes Rocky Top.
Rocky Top over the fucking Buma Suna.
I'm going to take Tennessee as well. I think both these teams are kind of middle of the pack to upper echelon SEC teams. And the fact that it's just at Tennessee, I think they get a big dub, which they've struggled to do against previous teams. I think that Oklahoma has just been going downhill, and I think it continues, and Tennessee takes the win.
I'm also going to be taking the Vols. I just don't think that Oklahoma has the balls to come here and beat the Vols in Neyland. I think it's just Neyland at night. The Vols are too much. I mean, it's just an easy pick for me. I just don't see the Sooners coming in there and really just giving them a chance at all. I think that Mateer has become a little bit overrated, dare I say. But I think I believe in Aguilar more right now from Tennessee. And, give me the Vols.
To slightly interrupt Boz real quick, I do not mean to, but my guess, I don't know if they've announced it yet, but my guess is Tennessee's going to go blackout this weekend because it's Halloween and they always do it around this time of year. So Neyland's probably going to be fucking checkered in orange and black, and they're going to wear all black, so they're going to fucking play good. They always play good in the all blacks.
I don't know, Jim. I don't know. Give me the Boomers. I believe.
Boomer!
Sooner.
All right, well, that should be a good game in Neyland. And then the last one we'll get to, College Game Day will be at this game. Cincinnati trying to assert their that presence to possibly be a playoff team, going on the road in a tough environment to face Utah. I knew this was coming.
UC!
All right, so I think this game will be good. Two good quarterbacks, Dan Pierre for Utah, and obviously Brennan Sorsby, who we talked about a lot on this podcast, who's been playing really well. I think the X factor for this game, I'm not making the pick. Yeah, I'll say it for it's about to be 10 seconds. I think the X factor for this game is Joe Royer. I think this is the game where Joe Royer finally has a breakout game. I know he's been solid. He hasn't had the production he had last year, but I think if he goes off and that UC defense plays decent with the Godfather up there, they're going to be up there. And for my pick, yeah, it's simple. It starts with this. Yeah, give me Cincinnati in this one. They're getting it done against Utah, and they keep rolling when they got BYU coming in a couple weeks to the NIP, which might be nightmare zone for BYU. So give me Bearcats. UC,
Okay. We know these two are going to pick. We know those two in the bottom corner are going to pick Cincinnati. Does he really have to explain his pick?
Still got something to say.
Oh, my gosh.
It's like you picking Michigan.
Yeah, so obviously, like John said, we know who I'm picking, but I'm going to Cincy. It's going to be our toughest game yet at Utah. Real hard atmosphere, real tough atmosphere. We're gonna need a big game. We're gonna need a solid game defensively again. And we got College Game Day at a Cincy game. Not the game we were hoping, but if we wanted to come to Cincy, we absolutely need to win this game. So, give me the Bearcats.
I don't know. This one's a little bit tough. I think Utah's been playing good. I think they've been playing really solid. And, I mean, even against BYU, they didn't play horribly. And that was a rivalry game, but I think it's really good. But who am I fucking kidding, bro? Give me the fucking Bearcats, baby. Fucking Cats by 90, bro. Give me the fucking Bearcats.
All right, dude, this one's tough. I can't lie. I know early in the season I had my doubts on Cincinnati. That's for sure. Especially with the season they had last year, I was not a believer. I'm starting to believe more, but I know this is one of the games I picked out early on that was probably going to be one of their losses. So I don't know. I kind of want to stick with my original pick because I've been fluctuating a lot over the course of 9 weeks now on the podcast.
You and Will were also predicting like 6 losses on our season, so let's just remember that.
Remember when you said they were just a Big 12 team that only got there because of expansion? Well, they're pretty good right now, so.
Yep, I'm taking the Utes. Screw you guys.
Boo!
Oh.
I was going to take the Cats, but I'm just getting trashed on now. So, yeah, screw you guys. I'm taking the Utes.
No, I was just trying to persuade you not to take your original pick since you said we were going to have 6 losses earlier in the season.
Oh, well, if you would have let me finish, I would have
one
got there.
loss.
All right, I'll go to the Cats then. Screw them. I didn't want to pick the Utes anyway.
Let's go.
Hey, Boz, I'm going to invite you to make your pick first.
Okay.
Cats by 90, bitch.
All right. It's really hard for me to sit here and disagree or disprove anything that Cincinnati's done. From their first game of the season, they've just improved so much. They've beat all these teams, and they've looked really good doing it. Obviously, they haven't played anyone really to Utah's caliber in a while, but they've done a lot. Sorsby looked really good on offense. That one move he made at midfield to break the defender's ankles looked insane. And I mean, he made the defender look silly. He looks like a Heisman contender right now, and Cincinnati just looks good as a whole. And I do think Utah's a good team, but I'd be remiss if I didn't pick fuck that, dude. I ain't picking no fucking Bearcats, dude. The fucking Utes are winning this shit. Game day's being there. It's at night. The fucking Utes are winning this game.
Predictable.
Give me the Utes. I don't care. All the rest of you fucking pick Cincinnati. Give me the fucking Utes. Come on.
And your lead in the picks is dropping fast.
And the Will Rob Luke.
Gavin, I don't mean to interject in
They're
your
in last.
hopes, but Rasheed Rice just scored a touchdown, so I'm not sure how you're doing now.
Still winning by 9. Sorry.
All right. Oh, good. All right. Yeah. A lot of good college football games this past week. That should be good ones. We'll see how our predictions go. Moving in to the NFL.
Never mind, I'm losing by 0.6.
John, what's up? Oh, let's go. My bad. All right. Yeah, so moving to NFL, I'm making this short. Dallas is no defense. And, of course, the 1 week I talk about Dak Prescott having an MVP caliber season, he plays his worst game of the season, obviously. So, of course, that would happen, of course. For some reason, we didn't target CeeDee Lamb early enough, which is fascinating to me. And who the fuck is Troy Franklin? Never heard of this guy, but somehow it just goes absolutely nuclear against our defense. I mean, I know our defense is poverty.
Casual.
Like, who the fuck is that guy? But just Dallas had a bad week. They got the Cardinals coming next on Monday night next week, then the Raiders. And then we play the Eagles after that. I think we can beat the Eagles. I don't think the Eagles are that good of a team. And then we play the Chiefs on Thanksgiving. So
That's
John
3 losses.
Dude, we're not losing to the Raiders or the Cardinals. We're going to be 5-4 going to that Eagles game. So, yeah, we got some things fixed. Defense is trash. Dak will bounce back. I still feel confident that our offense is good enough to win games. So, yeah, I'm not mad. I am mad we lost, but I'm not surprised.
I'll just go quick, John, because I don't get much to say. Dallas still buns in my eyes. Going to continue to be buns. I don't see much promise with them at all. Offense looks somewhat decent. There's just absolutely nothing on defense. I mean, partially because they're absolutely injured across the board, but yeah, I don't see a bright future at all for the Cowboys.
All right, this is my one rant I wanted to get to. I'm so happy that Bros decided to lead us off. First of all, Bros has now said that 2 quarterbacks are somewhat of MVP caliber, as he said that Jake Browning was just as good as Joe Burrow earlier this year. And now he has said that Dak Prescott is MVP caliber after having 2 dog shit games already under his belt. And I think we're just about halfway through the season. Now, here, the best way the Cowboys can even make sense and win in the future is if they tank this year. However, they're too stupid to do that, so they'll get a mid-round pick and just absolutely throw that down the toilet, along with the entire franchise as it already stands. The Cowgirls are ass. Honestly, bros, you would want to drop all 3 of those next games. You're going to lose to the Eagles. I mean, if the Ravens play how they just did, they just beat the Bears. So, I mean, I don't know how you just think that you're going to magically beat the Ravens all of a sudden, especially if they have
we got the Cardinals and the Raiders, not the Raiders.
Oh, yeah, the Raiders. Either way, honestly, the Raiders might actually beat you because that's how bad your team is, especially with that banged-up defense. The Cardinals, if Kyler Murray's back and he figures out how to throw the football to Marv, that's a game over, especially if Marv figures out how to catch. Bruce, there is no way you even end the season above 500. That's how bad your team is. And honestly, you'd rather them tank, but we all know that's not going to happen. Dak is ass. The whole franchise is ass. And like I said in the beginning of the year, well, you got to listen to that first couple episodes of the podcast about what I said about Jerry Jones because I'm not going to repeat it. But holy shit, bros, you need to stop running your mouth about the Cowboys because they are horrible. Horrible. Pure ass.
I never ran my mouth about us.
You just said they could beat the Eagles. You just said they could beat the Eagles.
We should have beat them week 1.
That is an outrageous take. You should not have beaten them week 1.
If CeeDee Lamb
they are going to be a much better football team the longer the more and more the Eagles can keep playing football, which, big surprise, they play football almost every week. They're going to get better and better and better, and they're going to kick your ass. Curb stomp, bro.
Yeah, I don't got much to say about the Cowboys. They've never been good ever since I started watching football, and they just still haven't been. So that's all I got about them.
Yeah, I'd like to say I could come in here and be surprised, but I'm just not. We all know the Cowboys suck, and I think it's just going to continue to be that way. They have no defense, and their offense looked bad this week. Maybe they're just going to go down the toilet, but yeah, they're going to just have to try and score 40 every week to have a chance because that defense is absolute fucking newspaper dog shit. I mean, just so terrible, and yeah, they're just not going to do anything this year, like we all knew.
Cowboys aren't good.
I don't disagree with you, Boz. We're not that good, but yeah. Moving to some other games. The Browns got absolutely trashed on by the Patriots. Drake May had himself a nice game. He's playing like a top 5 quarterback right now. Myles Garrett had 5 sacks in this game. I did not know that, and somehow they lost by like 20 points, which is kind of insane to me. Another game that happened, a couple of games.
Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel. That's why. And then I've been saving this one up. Here we go. Sunday Night Football took place between the Packers and the Steelers. I've been saving this one up. Hayden, you're not going to hear the end of this. So the Steelers play pretty decent in the first half. They're up 16-7. I told Hayden they're going to throw an inside slant to DK Metcalf. Called it. Helped his fantasy team out. And then that second half, my fucking God, their DBs got to be the most incompetent football players I've ever seen. Like, how is Jordan Love able to get sacked, throw off his back foot, and Tucker Kraft just absolutely mosses a dude and stepped on him in the same place and injured a dude on the same play doing that shit. So, and Tucker Kraft was just owning him all night long. I mean, the one deep ball where the safety just completely missed it. Like, how is that even possible? This is the highest salary paid defense in the National Football League. And their and they've allowed the most points, like yardage per game. That's worse than the Bengals. That's worse than the Cowboys. Like, how can you be paying these guys so much to be this god awful? TJ Watt has been terrible. Jalen Ramsey, that was one of the worst trade requirements I've ever seen. Gave up a makeup for some washed up all-pro bum. Darius Slay has forgotten how to play football. He can't play man coverage or he just gets cooked. Deshaun Elliott's fucking awful. He can't figure out where the ball is and just get an easy interception. Just their defense is horrible. And then I'm not even talking about the offense yet. I mean, the offense looked decent in the first half. Rodgers looked like he had everything going in the first half. And then the second half, they just go fucking take a poop on the field, like Hayden said a couple weeks ago. Like, this just ridiculous. I mean, he looked so good the first half, and they don't even target DK mostly in the second half. I mean, they're relying on guys like fucking Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson. Like, are we fucking serious? Like, man, it's just – I thought the Cowboys offense was bad to watch, and I watched that second half Steelers offense. That looked like fucking Bowling Green High School offense out there. Fucking run the ball every single play and do nothing on every single play. So, yeah, the Steelers got a lot to fix on because that was a game that kind of needed to get put – they're lucky the Bengals fucking defense blows and lost to the Jets because the Bengals would only be a half game behind the Steelers if they would have fucking won. And now with the Ravens somehow beating the Bears with fucking Tyler Snoop Huntley at quarterback, not even
Okay,
Lamar
bros.
Jackson.
Bears are missing their whole defense, pretty much. We're on to our
Tyler
fourth-string
Huntley,
corner.
bro. But anyways,
We're on to our fourth-string corner. Two of our defensive tackles got hurt. Yes, our offense should produce more with what they were given from the defense, but our defense couldn't stop a nosebleed.
Ask Gavin about that Lions defense last year. They still won 15 games.
Okay, bros.
But anyways, what I'm getting to is
our team is gone. We're missing two all-pros that carry our defensive front. We're missing Jalen Johnson's been out for practically the whole year. Kyler Gordon's out. And then we have fucking Nashton Wright as our CB1. Have you ever heard of Nashton Wright, bros? Probably not.
No.
Exactly.
Well, the last time I added this is now with the Ravens winning, and they got the Dolphins this week, the Ravens, watch out, they're going to sneak right up into that division lead pretty soon because the AFC North is god-awful. And I think the Steelers, with their upcoming schedule, and especially who they play this next week, and Mr. Indiana Jones and Jonathan Taylor Colts, they're going to drop that game, I believe, as well. But, yeah, the Steelers are in God trouble right now, especially after that second-half performance. Gavin, I know your rant's going to be as good or even better, so the floor is yours.
All right. Yeah, so it was a great time watching this game this week. I hate to see the Packers win a football game, but it's awesome to see everything that I say come to life right in front of my eyes. I just want to pull up some quotes from last week's podcast real quick, just so we can set the tone for this. Hayden's always talking about how good Aaron Rodgers is and blah, blah, blah. He's so good. Like I said last week, all he'll do is throw checkdowns and then lob up some balls to DK. That is exactly what happened. I don't know how many balls he threw past like 5 yards that weren't lobbed up to DK downfield. It's really just like, screw it, DK's down there somewhere, because they got absolutely no offensive movement whatsoever. It's just pathetic. I just wanted to pull up these quotes from Aiden. If you really think Aaron Rodgers is going to lose to the Packers, you're out of your mind, and he will die before he loses to the Green Bay Packers. We pretty much all of us could see this, obviously. Just was false as soon as it came out of Hayden's mouth. Just like as he said, Aaron Rodgers has played better than Jared Goff. The fact that Jared Goff throws it more than 10 yards downfield on a play already just puts him better in my mind, and that's not even going into detail with things. Um, that's pretty much all I gotta say. It was just great seeing everything that I've said this season come to life. And the Steelers are just gonna keep tanking, like I said last week, as I was doing this, showing how the Steelers season was gonna go last week, and right now we're at the start of that downhill slope.
I didn't watch too much football. I was very busy, at least on Sunday, so I don't really have a comment as to any of these games. Just a little bit disappointing that it seemed like almost none of my picks really hit, other than the Packers and Steelers game. I was during that game. I was playing some hockey. We did win 10-4, so that's what I'm gonna say here is that we won 10-4. Scored a couple goals, and that's about it. But Bender, I'm just going to give you a little bit of the floor to rebuttal both of these gentlemen here who have just shit talk on your team. I do think it's a little bit deserved, but I'm not in a place to comment on that at all.
All right, per
He said
Bruce's
he's
request, turn
reconnecting,
my camera on.
so I'm not sure if he's here or not. Oh,
Can you not
there he
hear
is.
me?
He's gone. Well, Rob, do you want to add anything in before Hayden gets back here and loses his mind?
Uno momento.
Oh.
Here's the man himself.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, well that's the first start. That's good. Yeah, well, I can go at this from there's still positives left, which is very few, or I can just go straight to the negative. I'll go straight to the negative. The first half, I thought it was like, dang, we can actually compete with a solid team in Green Bay. I know that they missed a few field goals, but we still would have been winning even if they drained them. We went up at halftime up 9, so up by 2 scores.
Oh, you nice
And
little kicker. You missed that.
shut up. Anyway, so we get the ball in the second half. First half was solid. The offense did okay. The defense played a lot better than they did in the second half. Second half comes around and yeah, as Bruce would say, I'll say it again. We just pooped on the field. It was tough to watch, and I think part of my problem with the Steelers right now is that the coaching staff really just doesn't know what to do to get these guys to play the game correctly. I mean, you have so many studs on the defense. I know a lot of them are older, but they still can play the game. And when you come into a game against the Packers and you tell all the press, what's going to get you ready to defeat the Packers here. And Mike Tomlin says about 20 times throughout the week, we got to stop the run. We got to stop the run. Mind you, we stopped the run against a team like the Bengals, and we didn't stop the pass though. Flacco threw for like 350 yards on us, and our whole mission is every week to stop the run. Yeah, well, that's bogus. We play man to man like crazy, and we bring 6 or 7 guys, 6, 7, at the quarterback every now and then, like at least 50% of the time, and we're playing man to man, and I don't understand it. You can stop the run, but if you don't stop the basic passes, the run game is basically in the basic passes. They're throwing little check downs and flat routes to Tucker Kraft every other play. And you can stop the run, but if you don't stop that, that's basically the new running game for them. So it's terrible to watch. And I just can't believe I'm at this point in the season where I can say the offense looks better than the defense, because I don't think I've ever been able to say that as a Steelers fan since Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell were on the team. So, I mean, I guess the positive is we're still ahead in the division, because the division this year is the worst I've ever seen it. And, I mean, we've got some tough games coming up, but I mean, I feel like a quick fix to at least solve some issues is literally just change up the defensive scheme. We brought in these guys to play man to man. I think we need to ditch that. This is not a man to man team right now. This is a play zone and stop the pass, because our defensive front is good enough to stop the run without bringing 6 guys every time. I think we need to focus on stopping the pass, because that's what's killed us every single week this year. I mean, Justin Fields threw for like 300 against us. Flacco threw for 350. I think Love just threw for like 320 last night. So I think that's the main problem for the Steelers right now is they can't stop the pass. And, they brought these guys in to do it. So, and they're not being able to. So I think it's a simple switch from man to man and fully committing to stop the run to I think our first priority has got to be to stop the pass because I really believe our front four is good enough to stop the run decently without bringing 6 guys every play. So that's what I'm hoping for is a change. And I still believe in Rodgers. I feel like he's the best quarterback we've had in many years. That's for sure. And the offense is playing better than the defense. So I mean, you can't really argue that. That's how bad the defense has been. And the offense had some good moments and some bad ones, but I mean the defense is just having bad moments every week. So yeah, I don't know what I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Disappointing, but we're still first in division, and there's still 10 games left in the season, so a lot can change.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my recap of this game somewhat short. I think that the Steelers are very lucky that they have Boswell as the kicker because that's actually their best player on their whole team. That's the reason why they were in that game for a while because he's just drilling kicks to even make the drives count. I think that they just weren't able to keep up. Like Hayden said, their defense has just been dog shit. So hopefully, for their sake, they can fucking improve that. But I don't think they will. I think that division lead is going to start to slip because they got an actual tough part of their schedule coming up. I mean, they got an auto loss coming up this next week. So, yeah, I think that they're going to be on the decline real soon.
Hitler reported dead.
Oh my
I
god.
hate this narrative you guys put out there. Actually, screw off.
Hey, and one question before we move on from this. Also, Jordan Love had 360 yards, not 320, so that makes it worse. Is Aaron
You
Rodgers still
got the
better than
point
Jared
though.
Goff? Is Aaron Rodgers still better than Jared Goff this year?
If you put Rodgers on that Detroit offense, yes, he is.
Oh, okay. So his answer's changed.
You just shut up. He's not.
Okay.
I
We're gonna
still
move.
think he's a more skilled quarterback player. I do think he is. He's the most skilled quarterback probably ever at his position. He doesn't have the actual accolades to back that up in terms of Super Bowl wins, but I still think he's one of the best throwers of the ball, and he has the best skill back there. But I mean, like Gavin said earlier, I mean, our whole offensive scheme is just really throw it to DK, 40% of the time on the passing game. We really just need another threat to help us on the passing game because it's DK and then it's Freiermuth, and then from there it's just kind of like everybody else gets at one catch and it's like the other guys are just mid. So we need to make a move before the trade deadline for at least somebody competent to at least take some pressure off of some of these double teams that DK's been seeing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
A competent quarterback.
Boz, he's better than Caleb Williams, so I don't want to hear it.
I'd hope so.
But yeah, I mean, I just can't believe the offense is doing better than the defense at this point in the year. It just blows my mind. So, I mean, if the defense just plays good, at least half competent compared to last year, I mean, we're gonna win the division, in my opinion. The division's terrible. I think we split with the Ravens and then we beat the Browns again. Then we beat the Bengals the next time because I think that one time they beat us was just a freaking once in a blue moon. So. But yeah, I think if the defense actually gets it figured out, we're gonna actually be sitting okay because this is the best offense we've had in probably 4 or 5 years. And now that the defense is playing terrible, if they just pick it up, I think we'll be sitting better than probably give us credit for. But it's not looking good right now.
Yeah, I would. Gavin, do you have something to add? Because you look like you're. No. Okay. Well, we're gonna move into next week's games. Some decent ones next week, I would say. We're gonna start with one. Chicago is going on the road to face the Bengals. Boz will be in attendance for this game. Boz, I hope your team wins because you'll be in person. It's your first ever Bears game. I hope they win. But I've seen them play the Ravens, and their Ravens defense was pretty dog shit before that game.
Okay.
But you are playing the Bengals, and their defense is worse. I think it'll be high scoring. Who do I want to go with? The Bengals. But, nope. I'm going with the Bears this week. Roma Dunze better have a breakout game because he's on my fantasy team. So give me the Bears in a close one.
Okay, I'll just get my spiel out here early. So, this game comes down to who is healthy for the Bears, I believe. I think that the Bears should win this regardless of who's out on the field, but it also does come down to who's healthy. If our corners are healthy, I think that our defense will be able to put up enough to where we'll be able to stop Flacco and the Bengals for a couple drives. And then after that, it's truly all up to Caleb Williams and the offense. We need to capitalize. We've gotten in the red zone. We got in the red zone 3 times against the Ravens and didn't capitalize. So I'm really hoping that Ben Johnson has him drilling that this week. Otherwise, that is just idiotic on his part. But during the press conference after the game, he took a lot of ownership of it, which you'd love to see in a coach. I believe that the culture's changed in Chicago a lot. It's way different than it used to be under Matt Nagy, who didn't know what he was doing, or Matt Eberflus. We have a lot of Matts, and half of them suck. Actually, both of them do. So I think that a lot of it's changed. I think that this can be a good bounce back for the Bears. Caleb Williams needs to light it up this game. He needs to play good football. I'm in the Caleb believer train, but it's getting hard recently. I mean, he is still young, but you do expect a little bit more out of a first-round draft pick in his second year. I'd hope. Granted, he did have to learn 2 practically different playbooks because of the fact of Ben Johnson coming to the Bears, but I still think that he needs to take the helm, take capability. He needs to just grab the locker room by the fucking balls and tell them that they're going to win and lead them to it.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I feel like if Jake Browning was still there on the Bengals and how they were playing, I would pick the Bears easily. But somehow Joe Flacco's actually made the Bengals look somewhat decent. They did just absolutely choke their game away last week, though. I think I'm still going to go with the Bears here. I think they're going to get a bounce back win in Cincy. I think Cincy's not going to be able to get it done with their whatever magic they've got going on right now with Joe Flacco. I think it's going to start to come to an end pretty soon here, so I got the Bears.
I would like to add, I think Montez Sweat will get a forced fumble this game, either on Joe Flacco or on Chase Brown.
Is it my turn now? Okay. Boz, how are the Bears looking health-wise?
I haven't heard the report usually comes out Thursday. I don't think I've seen a report yet this week.
Is there any likelihood that the defense gets any healthier? And
I feel like Kyler Gordon and Stevenson should be back because, granted, Kyler Gordon played. That's the first game he played in a while, and I think he looked great when he played against the Saints. I don't know how he got hurt or when he got hurt within that game. I don't know why any of that happened. And then I haven't heard anything about Stevenson yet, but I'm really hoping those 2 come back because that's a big difference in that game. And then I haven't heard anything about the line yet and Cole Kmet, so well, I'll check, and if I have something, I'll chime in.
All right. Well, right now at least, I'm gonna still take the Bears. I think the Bengals just came off a really heartbreaking loss to the Jets, but honestly, that's some of their own doing. You can't. I don't know what the game entailed and everything because, like I said, I didn't watch, but you lose by 1 point to an undefeated team. I think that was at home too. That was at Cincy, or maybe it was on the road to the Jets. I don't know. It's just a little. It's heartbreaking, but I think that momentum of that heartbreak. It was at Cincy. Yeah, I think that heartbreak of that loss can honestly carry through, and I think Ben Johnson's going to get the Bears ready, for a bounce back win, and the offense just has to step up. I think even if that Bears defense is still banged up, that offense has to step up, and they definitely can. I mean, we've seen glimpses of it. But, yeah, give me the Bears.
Yeah, this game's kind of a toss-up. I mean, both teams have had their weeks, and both have had pretty bad weeks. But the fact that the Bears defense is struggling, according to Boz, and I know the Bengals defense is terrible too, but I just think the Bengals offense is so much better than the Bears offense. I think it's just a shootout, and the Bengals just have more firepower to win it at the end. And they got Flacco back there, who's a pretty solid quarterback, but then when you give them two receivers that are possibly top 10 in the league, it's just going to be a problem for the Bears defensively. And then obviously, I don't think Caleb Williams and that Bears offense can keep up with the Bengals offense with high firing throws down the field and stuff. So I'll take the Bengals. I'm sorry, Boz, but I just don't see it happening.
All right. I agree with everyone here.
And
This
it's
is
fancy because Marcus Mariota throws a pick with 12 seconds left in the game.
Wait, you lost because of that? What happened?
I was up by 0.8 points. 0.8 points. And he has a Chiefs defense. And Marcus Mariota threw a pick on the last play of the game.
Bruh.
With 12 seconds
Oh my
left.
God.
Get into the cage part 3. Here we go. Get into the cage part 3.
Unbelievable, dude.
He won 100 by
There
2
might
points.
be a roughing the passer, though. Sorry, I'll mute myself.
Wait, I would like to add that I think Kyler Gordon will be back this week due to last Thursday he practiced. He was limited at practice compared to everybody else who was out did not play
No,
on
it's
last
unsportsmanlike
Thursday.
conduct.
So I think that
Wait, what?
I think Kyler Gordon will be back this week, which is a big pickup for the Bears defense. And I don't know about Stevenson, though. So that's my Bears injury update.
all right. So with this, I really do want to take the Bears. Boz is going to be in attendance, and I think this will be a good game. I think for Chicago's sake, they really need to try and get on Flacco and make him throw some errant passes because if they get the ball out quick, I think it'll be tough for Chicago to contain the weapons that Cincy has. So I think that if they can kind of limit how much they do, then they'll have a good chance. I think that Caleb Williams really needs to have a great game because you're playing such a terrible defense in Cincinnati. I mean, there's just no excuses for him. If he has a bad game, then you got to start just asking questions like what is going on? Like he's got to be able to be consistently good, especially against the bad defenses. So I'm gonna go with the Bears. I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bears to win.
I'd also like to add the Bears really need to limit their penalties this week because that is a big factor in every Bears game recently. It's just like we're killing ourselves on drives. When Caleb Williams finally has a good pass downfield, it gets called back for holding maybe or illegal formation when we throw a touchdown pass. So just another thing to look.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one we're on to Minnesota hosts going to Detroit. JJ McCarthy could be coming back, and his first game in the state of Michigan since he led Michigan in that national championship a couple years ago. Is that going to matter, though? Nope. Give me the Lions in this one, big over the Vikings. Vikings are just terrible offensively. Their defense is solid, but I just think the Lions, they put 31 on them last year when their team was good. So I'm going with the Lions to get it done over the Vikings.
Yeah, I got the Lions, so I got.
Yeah, I also got the Lions. I'm assuming we're trying to go quick now, so let's just fire them.
Yeah, I'll take the Lions too. I hope they don't.
Kubi can wait for a fucking minute. Jesus Christ.
I'll take the Lions. I hope just make it quick here. I hope that they don't absolutely destroy JJ because that'd be sad to watch that happen. But yeah, give me the Lions. Hopefully
Well,
JJ
Rob.
plays well though.
I'll also be taking the Lions. I don't think it fucking matters if JJ plays. He's not that good. The Lions are good, so yeah.
I'm joining the Lions train. I don't think the Vikings are good at all. I think that their win against the Bears was a big fluke, and I haven't seen them prove themselves in any other game this year.
All right, everyone rock with the Lions. Next one we'll get into the hot Indianapolis Colts led by MVP candidate Jonathan Taylor going on the road to face the Steelers coming off a tough loss against the Packers. How will the Packers bounce back offensively? We don't know. I don't think their defense is going to bounce back. It's still shit. Give me JT, Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, and the Colts to get it done. Big road win on the road to cement them as an AFC contender. Give me the Colts, baby.
Yeah, this Colts offense has looked insane. I got the Colts winning this one, especially with how bad the Steelers have looked.
I'll just join in with Gavin here for sake of time. I would chalk this up as a Steelers L.
Yeah, give me the Colts. Indiana Jones. Not Danny Dimes anymore. He's Indiana Jones. Colts.
Yeah, if the Colts were not playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm taking them, but I'm taking the Steelers. I just can't go against them.
I'm going to take the Colts by about 35. That might be a little conservative, too.
Okay,
I think
buddy.
that I don't know
Okay.
why Hayden can not pick against the Steelers, but he can pick against Michigan. That kind of doesn't really make sense to me. So, yeah, give me the Colts.
Makes no sense at all, but whatever.
All right, last one we'll get to. The Tony Romo Glaze Fest this weekend. Mahomes and the Chiefs coming off a brilliant Monday night win against the Commanders, going on the road to face Hayden's favorite quarterback, God himself, Josh Allen. Anyways, I think it's going to be a great game. It's always a great game between these two. But as we've seen in the past, Patrick Mahomes owns his ass. So, yep, I'm going with it, even though it sucks. I'm going with the Chiefs. I think with their offense looking at it is now, I think they're the better team right now. They got the better defense. I'm going with the Chiefs on the road with Mahomes to get it done over the supposed MVP, Josh Allen.
Yeah, like bro said, I'm going with the Chiefs as well. Bills just have not looked great this year. They're like as good as they have been in the past, so and the Chiefs are starting to heat up, so I got the Chiefs.
For the sake of my fantasy team, I'm going with the Bills, hoping that Josh Allen does things, which would be kind of cool. And I think James Cook had a really good week last week. I forget who they played. I don't know if they were any
Carolina.
Who did they play? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
they turned it up in the second half.
I mean, James Cook had a really good week. I'm hoping that would drag into next week because that's just going to be a big factor for that game. So I'll take the Bills.
Yeah, I got the Bills, fantasy purposes, but also because I think they're the better team. I know you guys say they've been looking a little bit shit, but it looks like in that second half last week they turned it around. At least that's what the box score shows.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bills. And I know Bros said that Mahomes owns Josh Allen. That's in the playoffs. But in the regular season, Josh Allen is 4-1 against Mahomes in the regular season. So the fact that it's at Buffalo, Josh Allen has played better than him in the regular season. I think it's easy to take the Bills, at least in my opinion. But hopefully the Chiefs lose another game. Can't stand watching them.
All you, Rob.
Yeah, and this one, I think I just have to go with the Bills. I think that my hatred for the Chiefs is going to continue. I think that this game being in Buffalo is a huge factor. They have a great environment, and I think that in the regular season, the Bills have had kind of a good odds against the Chiefs recently. It's just the playoffs where the Chiefs own them, so maybe when it matters the most, they'll lose. But I'm going to have to go with the Bills in this one.
All right. Well, no one else has anything to add. I'm assuming nobody else does. That'll wrap up this episode of the podcast.
What about some
see what happens. Hey, what do you got to add?
I was just gonna say, what about some basketball or something? Season's about to start. College
You can say
basketball.
something if you want. Yeah, Ohio State will probably suck as the UG. So that's all I got to say. Well, anyways, that'll do it for this another good episode of the podcast. We thank you for listening, and we'll see you for the next one.